We are ready for another grand finals at the Trackmania games. We've had a few already. Most of them have been very exciting, and I am hoping that this one is no different. What a lineup of players we have as well playing in this. The German ratio has stayed the same. We went from top 6 with 3 German players. We've gone down to 2 of them. However, it is the twins, Azox and Barbos, competing for Germany in this Tech Solo Grand Finals. Up against them, GB looking to pick up another medal for the nation is Pack, and a player that we haven't really talked about all that much today, Boney, but who we probably should talk about at this point because frankly he's the favorite coming into this grand finals. Representing Slovakia, we have Loso.
Yeah, and I mean, to a certain extent, you could argue it's a good thing that we didn't talk about it. It's a bad thing that we didn't talk about it. But if you have been keeping your eye at some point at the top right corner of your screen, you may or may not have seen his name come by with records on the tracks in his name. Man is just looking to bring it home for his country. He wants that medal in, and yeah, he's looking like the one to beat. Though I will not dismiss the power of brotherly love. Words.
Yeah, brotherly love huge. Yeah, I mean, Loso holding all 3 world records online coming into the tracks in the grand final is a little bit spooky, all right. But I mean, look, it's true. G-Geek, both of the players coming out of Germany are threats in this grand final. Both Azox and Barbos have shown really, really strong performances today, and frankly, across the entire tech tournaments. Oh, hang on. Hold. We're going to get G-Geek back in a second. Nobody worry.
Yeah, don't worry. Well, I'm back. Yeah, as I was saying, those are 2 talents that are really at the sharp end of the tech field. No matter, not just in Trackmania games, but overall, be it in tech comps or in solo comps. And looking at the stats overall in the map pack, that really does reflect, especially for Azox, a 76.3% average finishing position over the course of the bracket alone. That actually puts him ahead of Loso, who's on 72%, and 48 out of 83 rounds that Azox has finished have been in first places. So he is really a force to be reckoned with, and definitely in with a shot of bringing Germany yet another gold medal.
Yeah, and I mean, look, Formal, let's talk a little bit then about the final player who is in this grand final, a name to be conjured with. I know you were talking about casting spells earlier, so I thought I'd throw that one your way.
Yeah, I mean, look, Pack has been the lower bracket powerhouse, and also arguably probably in a top form as well. Here's the thing, all right? I like to play, you know, sort of who's beaten who. And let's be honest, Loso comes in, he looks at the top. Well, if you look at the upper bracket, Barbos in the upper quarterfinal beat Loso. All right, and who just beat Barbos? Yeah. Okay, look at it that way. Now, Pac has been looking incredible.
We're not doing transitive properties to try. No. I followed the line of logic, but we're not using transitive properties on this.
Well, how's this one then? Whenever you think the UK is out, they find ways to win. They've been leading the country standings right now, and somehow they keep finding ways to get themselves in this position. We didn't really expect them to be in the tech team final, yet they were there. And now we didn't really kind of expect them to be in the tech solo final, and yet here Pac is once again. He is there. So I don't know, man. They just find ways to win.
Yeah, I mean, I still frankly don't really understand how GB managed to walk away with the ice gold medal. That one is, it's taken a week. I've had a week to think about it, and I'm still not entirely sure what actually ended up happening in that one. But you're right. You kind of can't count them out until everything is said and done. GB, we have trial ending at 8 p.m. CET tonight. We're just waiting for a GB name to suddenly appear at the top of the leaderboards at 7:59 or something. That's going to be horrible for everyone involved if that does happen. That's been super fun. We haven't really talked about it today. We don't have time to talk about it now. I got distracted by trial because the trial event is really cool. But we have Tech Solo Grand Finals on the line. And so let's get into some predictions. We've heard a little bit about who each of the players is, about why they're good players, and it's because they're here in the Tech Solo Grand Finals. They've all had individual journeys to get here. Azox and Loso straight through the upper bracket. Pack dropping to that lower bracket after the upper bracket semifinals. I believe Barbos dropping at the same time. I'm going to go to you first, G-Geek. Who do you think is our gold medalist? Who do you think is our silver medalist? And who do you think is our bronze medalist in this grand finals?
As much as I said that Azox is looking very dialed in, I would like to give the edge to Slovakia. I would predict Loso gold, Azox silver, and Pack bronze, leaving Barbos down in 4th position.
Okay, Formal. Do you need another second to set up whatever it is you're setting up, or?
No, I just was trying to find a coin to flip. Go to Boney. I'm trying to find a coin.
Yeah,
to
fair
flip
enough.
right
All right.
Okay,
we're looking for coins. We're looking for money.
Formal looks for a coin. Yeah.
Yeah.
Boney, who's your predictions?
Look, I'll do my scratch-off tickets with a coin as well. Don't worry about it. Outside of that, I agree with putting Loso on first place, though I would put Pack second, and then Azok Barbos. I mean, it's a tricky, tough one. I'd probably Azok third, Barbos fourth. I think recency bias, while it is strong, I think Loso will beat it.
Yeah. All right. Formal. Didn't find a coin. No coin.
No coin. Not needed. Not needed, because I think everyone's
needed.
making a couple critical mistakes here. All right, let's go back to that tech team final. British team comes in from the lower bracket, all the hype, and goes invisible.
Yeah.
So Pac 4th. I'm sorry, he's going invisible. And if you look at Loso and his ride here, was beaten by Barbos before, and in the semifinal actually fell short to Azox as well. So I actually think Loso third. We're looking at a Germany 1-2. Barbos was the MVP of the tech team. He's the one everybody's overlooking. Barbos P1, Azox P2.
I'm going to provide you with one piece of information, Formal, and we'll just see if it changes your mind. Pac didn't play in the tech team tournament, and so was not part of that GB team that ended up disappointing in the grand finals.
Look, I was talking to Geek about this before. I don't look at player names, I look at flags.
All right, fair enough. That's locked in. We're going to make you stick to it, and you can carry that all the way through. It's going to make it very difficult to cast Barbos and Azox in this grand finals for you, Formal. Best of luck if you don't see the names and you only see the 2 German flags on that one. Let's send you into that grand final. Players are getting ready in lobby for that one. G-Geek and Formal, please take us through another of our grand finals at the Trackmania Games.
Indeed, it's time for yet another grand final and yet another discipline to be concluded and another set of medals to be attributed. And yeah, this is going to be one of those where we're going to be seeing sparks fly right from round number 1. This is one where we're expecting even though we've been a little bit, this is how we do it on these panels. We kind of get some bias in a little bit. We kind of lean on some things, But here, it's pretty much gloves are off for all players, and really, it could really go either way in terms of how the momentum gets settled at the end of map number 1.
Yeah, I think here's the best way of putting it. On the panel, we might not be entirely honest, but here's the thing: when you're driving tech, it's all honest. It is the most honest of all the disciplines that I think we have.
Exactly.
And it is going to be, no hold bar, everybody pushing, everybody's going to be challenging. And the thing is, Barbos might be coming in with the least amount of momentum, but we've seen what he can do. So an argument can realistically be made for all 4 of the drivers. That's the point I was trying to make on that panel. That's why I think, hey, don't overlook any of them. And we are live. This is it. This is the final. And if you want evidence for how close this is, I mean, you can see it right in front of you. All the lines very, very similar. It's just those micro movements that have been the difference at the start. And it's actually Azox who almost, I thought he kissed the wall right there, is able to bring it back. So still will be going wheel to wheel, but it's Barbos who has the lead through the first half of the track. And as Pac is kind of falling a little bit behind right now. That said, Pac has been getting a lot of momentum in the back half of these tracks. We'll see if that happens here again. Barbos with the wider line, holds the speed, holds P1. Coming up now more towards the end. This transition, we've seen so many cars crash out. None of them crash out in the finals. Everybody still locked in. Azox goes a little bit too wide though and lost a bit too much speed. Loso, meanwhile, is starting to look for the snipe right now. Front 2 runners, they're wheel to wheel. Loso has a bit more of an edge and will not get it. 3,000s off. Barbos takes the first round.
And Barbos went a little bit lower than Loso in the jump into the risky finish, allowing him to snipe Loso by 3 milliseconds. Pack in third, Azox in fourth, and you were able to see that briefly on the left-hand side of the screen by virtue of emerging from the winner bracket final. Loso and Azox got starting points, and yeah, indeed, we had a 10-point bonus going the way of Loso and a 6-point bonus going the way of Azox. Hence why Loso, despite losing the round in round number 1, he was able to retain the lead. Although this time he will still be in amongst the fight for the the lead of the race, it was Barbos, who unfortunately clipped very early on in the first sector and will be left by the wayside as we go through checkpoint number 4. It will be Pack surging into the lead, going side by side with Azox. We go a little bit more conservative this time, not hitting the walls on either side of the track, going to checkpoint number 6, who gets the latest Apex. Everybody getting a little bit more antsy. Loso going for a bit more of aggressive inside line. Now the acute right-hander as he tries to make a move on Pack for the benefit of second place of the 6 points that do come with it. It's Azox going way wide in that double right-hander, and Pack carrying supreme speed out of that same corner, heading into sector number 3, will move into the provisional lead of the race, 27 milliseconds ahead of Azox. Loso without any kind of retaliation. Pack hits the wall, promoting Azox into the lead, and the lead he will retain until the finish line with yet another 0.4 in the books, a 0.493, 49 milliseconds ahead of Loso. Pack and Barbos, 3rd and 4th, yet again. Azox getting a very valuable 10-pointer that will put him back in contention for the lead within 3 points of Loso.
Yeah, I'm just confused because it said that was round 2, but there was points awarded in the one. I'm ignoring the points. I'm just going to call the action in front of me. I'm sure that will be sorted out as we go, but right now it's going to be Barbos with a fantastic start. And something that you said that I find interesting is like, oh, they're looking a little conservative on a couple of these corners at the start. Their definition of conservative is a normal man's definition of as close to the wall as I have ever been. It is insane what we are seeing from these drivers, particularly those in the front 3 right now. Pack, again, having some little bit of difficulties a bit further back right now as Azox is barely holding on to that lead, but you can see they were a bit wider before, which got him even tighter on the exit. It gives him the lead for now, yet still we are under 0.05 of a second between our top 3 drivers, and Pac wants to get involved as well. He is having a bit of a late resurgence, not enough to overtake him. By kissing the wall, Pac is out. All right, 3 drivers remain. Barbos will have the lead going into the final turn. He usually went a bit wide. This time he's a little bit more tight, sniping at the end. Who's got it? It is Barbos, who will get another round win.
And Barbos almost wiping the slate completely clean, coming back from a 9-point deficit, climbing that back down to a 3-point deficit, 26, 25, 23 at the end of that round as we go on to round number 4 here on Chiaroscuro for our first rotation of the map. Barbos getting the whole shot with an 8.204. The Pack lead, the Pack regroup within 67 milliseconds, but the round leader after checkpoint 1 clips the apex before checkpoint 2 and is sent out of contention for the 10-pointer. It will be left to be decided between Loso, Azox, and Pack as we enter sector number 2. We go very aggressive on the attack of the neon post from checkpoints 4 to 5 for Pack. Going to checkpoint number 6, we go so close to the wall there for Azox, trying to get the gap back in check and the car back on the straight and narrow, and Loso takes advantage of that situation to move into the lead and give himself a little bit of breathing room. Around 0.2 of a second, Pack hits the wall on the way towards checkpoint number 8. It's over for the man from Team GB. Loso still leading by a 10.5 to 0.2 of a second from Azox as we go into the final sets of corners and the jump into the risky finish. Can Azox pull something? The answers are no. The gap is way too consequent to actually be overhauled, and Loso will clock in a 0.552, a 10.5 ahead of Azox to get yet another 10-point lead going his way. Pack and Barbos 3rd and 4th, 36 points as a result of that first map, but it's a total of 26 points out of 40 that have been collected by the leader. Azox 5 points behind on 31, and so far it's a pretty good start, I guess we should say. We haven't seen any player really dominating right out of the gates after the first set of rounds.
What I find interesting though, and I'm a little bit relieved, it does feel. Well, it feels like a 3-car race right now, actually. It's not 2 drivers running away with it. But for me, the biggest surprise, Pac having those struggles at the start. And someone who had looked super hot in the lower bracket kind of had issues on all 4 of those rounds right there. So a bit concerning for the British driver. Obviously, still early days. You can still find that momentum and bring it back. But for Czechia and the 2 Germans, woo, baby. Things are looking very good with them right now. Barbos back in that finals form, which, I'm sure Germany was hoping to see. And Loso, when he doesn't make a mistake, he does look like the fastest of the 4 drivers.
Yeah, and just as a quick correction, this is not Czechia we're talking about, but this is Slovakia we're talking about for Loso. As we're going to be moving on to
gotten
serve
that
side.
country wrong how many times?
I am not counting anymore.
I think once a broadcast, I get that one wrong. Once a broadcast, it's the rule.
At the very least. Anyway, going into the first round out of 4 here on Surfside, and it will be a 3-way fight for the lead with Loso just a little bit further removed, but still within a 10th of a second, so all is well. For now, at the end of sector number 1, Barbo's trying to sprint away from the chasing field behind him as we go through checkpoint 7 and 8. Oh, unfortunate wide exit from Loso, sending him on a collision course with the wall. As we go into the last sector with checkpoints 10 and 11, it will be Barbos, Azox, and Pack in that order. The jump towards checkpoint 12 followed by this particular jump, and then the double left-hander before the risky fin after checkpoint 13. Barbos has the lead under lock and key. Pack versus Azox for second place, and it will be going the way of Pack by just 1/100th of a second. Barbos locks in a 54.138. Loso down to 4th place. Having the first temporary setback, let's say, of this particular match.
And I feel the need to apologize to Loso and Slovakia at this point. I don't mean to get your country wrong every single time, but I don't know. Sometimes it just doesn't click like it didn't click for Loso the second round in a row. A second crash out. Very unfortunate for the Slovakian driver. And that's, again, going to be a 3-car race towards the front. But Azox having problems as well. So our 2 drivers from the lower bracket right now will be fighting for the round win. Barbos, he looks so good on Surfside back in that lower bracket. He was very tough to beat. Papak arguably looked good as well on every single map, and right now is going toe for toe. In fact, it's going to take the lead with a bit of a tighter line, but through these checkpoints, you don't see the changes. It's through this uphill right here that leads into the ending where so much time is made or lost. Puck, a little bit lower, a little bit tighter. Actually, he's going to try to hold that speed. Barbos goes super tight. I don't know how he did not hit the wall, and he will go for the lunge on the finish. Crazy ending for Barbos, just enough to take that round and the 10 points that come with.
That was a very, very committed dive towards the risky fin there on the part of Barbos. As you said, the 7,000ths of a second margin between first and second is all it took to separate Barbos from Pack here on that round as we go into round number 3. Now, heading into this particular map, I had a little look at the stats, and in terms of PB, Barbos and Loso had exact same PB in match, 54.085, with just a little bit of an edge for median pace going the way of Loso, a 0.208 to a 0.275, and both have had very similar stats, but maybe a little bit less first places going the way of Barbos compared to Loso. It's just that Loso has not been able to really get into the groove for that somewhat short rotation here on Surfside. Remember, we only get 4 rounds per map. That's not much to get the ball rolling here, as we do see Loso, the Slovak driver, currently sitting in P3, Pack completely out of the running after an early mistake. 2 seconds down. It will be Azox and Barbos. The 1-2 for Team Germany trying to shape up here on the final sets of corners. Loso still waiting in the wings and waiting to pounce, looking for an aperture to open. Barbos may be opening the door for him. Is it going to be enough to actually snipe him? The answer is a no, and it will be a 1-2 for Team Germany by just 16 milliseconds. Loso comes up just that much short, and Azox is right back into the thick of the action, moving on to 49 points out of 120, 52, 49, 46. Loso, who looked pretty good at the end of map number 1, courtesy of the winner bracket advantage, has seen that gap completely wiped away, and now is a little bit in the thick of things as well.
Yeah, he is, and it's a bit concerning, I think, for both of the 2 upper bracket drivers, because right now the German team, they are on point, and it feels like Azox and Barbos has just been trading back and forth, that P1, P2, and again, they're going to be out in front at the start of Surfside here. Loso and Pac, though, they're right up there with it. In fact, they're each going to overtake everyone within 1/100th of a second for a brief moment right there. Things are slowly spreading out, but again, you don't make up that much time, but you can mess it up. Pac is gone, and now we are down to 3 again. Loso left chasing, Barbos out in front. Does he push like crazy now that he has the lead like we saw 2 rounds ago? He might have to, because Azox is coming with a bit more speed. Up the corner we go. All 3 drivers within each other's ghosts diving for the line. It is Azox who comes across P1. Loso snipes Barbos for the 1-2-3.
0.026, the margin between first and third, and 0.003, the margin between second and third. That's just slim pickings. That's like right there in terms of margins to separate who gets 10 points and who gets 4 points. This is absolutely scintillating racing here that we've actually witnessed on Surfside, and I feel like it's going to be a bit more of the same on Magneton, and I had a little bit of a look-see at the stats as well. It looks as though it might be advantage again to Team Germany on this one, especially when it comes to the medium pace. Not so much in the best, especially on Azox, who's on the 0.8, whereas the rest of the players are in 0.7s, but both Barbos and Azox are on 0.01s. 55.016 median for Azox, 0.011 for Barbos. They're looking very dialed in.
Yeah, they are, and that is going to be a concerning sign, I think, for everybody else. I mean, I don't know. These median times are important, and the stats do matter. Don't get me wrong. They help us with predictions. They help us come in with what we need to know, I guess, ahead of time. But I'm going to be real. There is that finals X factor. There is the nerfs. There's how they handle it on the day. And I think that's coming into play right now because, yeah, Pac has had one of the most amazing median times, but he's in on those past two tracks, but he's been struggling so far this final. The nerves may be getting to him. I don't know. I think right now for the UK, they would really like to see Pac just get a good round in, get that momentum back. Really, I think everybody's kind of rooting for the Germans to maybe stumble a little bit right here when you look at the overall national standings, because if it goes as it's going with the Germany 1-2, that will be massive on the national ranks. So far, though, if you want to take a look at what's massive, it's been Loso and Pac starting this one off, but Pac gets a little bit wide and they go a little bit off, and again, more problems for the British drivers. Azox a little bit low on that turn, but brings it back. They have the speed. Goodbye, Barbos. Can Azox snipe Loso? They are wheel to wheel. It's a bit more speed, though, coming from Loso, and he should cross the line first, and does P1 to Loso.
And a 0.816. We're diving into the low 0.8s already, right out of the gates on the first round here on Magneton. This is a very, very solid time to start things off. Let me just quickly say that to you. Loso, his best time was a 0.732. Theoretically, he has the fastest time in match of all the players that are in there. Of course, ultimate pace is one thing, round pace is quite another thing altogether. And yeah, Loso looking to actually come back from a rather disappointing event on Surfside as he tries to get some momentum back up and gets the ball rolling back again for Team Slovakia. As we go through the first sector, it will be a very, very tightly knit group. 18 milliseconds between first and last, but we already see one car ejected out of the group, and that is Barbos. The man currently third in the standings is out of here. It's going to be Loso, Azox, and Pac battling for first place and the 10 points that come with it. Currently, it's going to be advantage to Loso heading into sector number 3. Great lineup for Loso, not so much for Pac, who misses the slide altogether, and it's going to be down to a 2-horse race between Loso and Azox. Team Slovakia versus Team Germany as we go on to the final corner. Azox trying to carry a bit more speed, but he clips at the exit, and it's going to be yet another 10-pointer going the way of Loso, and we're slowly but surely turning up the heat a little once again with a 0.808. Great drum machine, by the way. Pac in second, Barbos in third, and Azox down in fourth.
Yeah, that was an incredible round again for Loso, who now is starting to remind us why they're coming in as the favorite, why they are the driver. Really, everybody has been chasing up into this point now. I'm still unsure if the point situation got rectified, because again, like Loso had the 10 points at the start kind of gifted. Was that for doing well in the upper bracket final? Is that where that came from? Or I'm not sure if that was a number. Either way, it is Barbos in the lead right now with Azox and Loso right there with him. Pac again struggling a bit further back. Barbos trying to keep that half a wheel in front, trying to stay ahead, but it looks like Azox will get the tighter line through underneath. Can they hold the speed? The answer is, well, it's enough to be pretty much exactly wheel to wheel. It's only 13 thousandths of a second separating them, but a mistake from Azox will send them back. Loso starting to gain, perhaps the next driver up. Pac as well, still very much in this, coming into those final couple corners. Barbos has had the slimmest of leads, and it's finally going to get pressured into the end. Who has the speed? It's all Barbos. Pac takes P2, and Loso will have to settle for a third.
Yeah, Loso having to settle for a third after 2 back-to-back wins. He went just ever so slightly wider on the approach into the well, I say risky fin. It's basically just a 180 climb up a hill. And yeah, went a little bit too wide, lost a little bit of speed, trying to correct and compensate for that, allowing Pac just to sneak on by and get 2 extra points with second place. As we go on to round number 4 at the end of the first rotation of maps, and the first rotation on Magneton, and it's going to be Barbos with a solid start right now, trying to pull already a 1/10 of a second by the end of sector number 1. Pac already losing a little bit of time through that same first sector, and will thus be looking back at around a 2/10 deficit to the leader, and a 2/10 to 1/10.5 deficit overall compared to the leading trio of Azox, Loso, and Barbos, who are exchanging positions, checkpoint after checkpoint, and corner after corner. Their ghosts merging into one another every single time, and this time it will be Loso versus Barbos. Azok still waiting in the wings, and now Pack trying to mount his fight back on the way towards the final sequence of checkpoints and the final left-hander before the jump into the risky finish. Loso, Barbos, Azox in that particular order. Is there going to be any heartbreak? No, everybody clears it. Who's going to get it to the line? More speed for the Germans, maybe? No! For 9 millisecond, Loso keeps his first place, and it will be a 34-point haul out of 40 possible just in one single map rotation. A great comeback from Loso after a somewhat complicated Surfside, and it's a strong statement of intent sent by the Slovak there.
Also, I am confirmed it is the bonus, so that was right. That's where the points came from. But honestly, those bonus points don't mean anything right now. It has been that tight between the top three. That last round, absolutely proving it. My goodness. We have a final. I think this has arguably been one of the closest finals yet, and I do hope this trend continues. Loso back in that form. Barbos back in that final form. Again, the only driver kind of struggling right now has been Pac. I don't know. The Union Jack is cursed when it comes to these finals, Geek. I don't know what it is. When it comes to tech finals, Union Jack, no bueno.
Yeah, it seems like they have found someone to best them, Team GB, at this particular point, at least in tech. We've seen how it was in mixed solo. We've all seen how things have gone, and we're not going to speak about those, as got some bigger business to actually attend to, which is going to be the second rotation of the match, which is going to be coming your way in just a second with the return to Chiaroscuro. I had a little bit of a gander at the stats. In terms of median, we're on a 100.585 median, mind you, for Loso over the course of the bracket alone, I think. Yeah, 0.585. Azox on 0.620, 0.668 for Barbos, 0.722 for Pac. So still advantage to Loso as we speak, as we're going to go into the first round of that second rotation. It's going to be Azox leading the pack ahead of Loso, Barbos, and Pac, the man from Team GB, currently at the tail end of the field by 83 milliseconds at the end of sector number 1. Now on the way downhill through checkpoint 5, and then set the car back uphill before the right-hander to checkpoint number 6, and already one of the key contenders is out. It's going to be Barbos, Azox, sorry, going a little bit too wide, and hits the wall. It's going to be then a 3-horse race, down more to a 2.5-horse race as Loso and Barbos go toe-to-toe for the lead, and Pac just can't do anything else but watch as these two continue to do battle in the final sequence of corners. Loso tries to pull away, gives himself a little bit of breathing room. Barbos in second place. Can he try to pull something? The answer is a no. Loso will clock in a 0.401 for another 10-pointer going the way of the Slovak. Barbos absolutely powerless to do anything as Loso is past the 3/4 mark to finalists.
That's just not fair, Geek. You're pulling off, 0.40s. It's not fair. People need to be chasing PBs. People need to be chasing that world record right now in order to run Loso down if Loso can continue that form. And that is a big if, because we have seen some minor inconsistencies from Loso, I guess, in the past. And even that, I feel, is being nitpicky right now. Loso has arrived, and everybody else feels on notice. What's happening this second round again? Guess what? Loso with that lead. This time, though, Barbos doing his best to keep up. Azox as well, right there with him. In fact, you can argue this was a 4-horse race until Barbos smashes that wall. He's gone down to 3. And unfortunately for everybody else, well, Barbos was the one who was the closest to Loso, who's continuing to pull ahead. Pac right now might have enough speed to move himself into a solid P2. In fact, he might even be starting to chase down P1, and we haven't seen Pac really take a round yet. This would be a critical moment for the UK driver to get back in. It takes a much more inside line, but does not hold the speed. You would think Loso has it. Clean finish, and he does it again. Another 0.4 for Loso, barely holding off Pac.
Just watching that setup into the final corner from Loso, I was like, yeah, he's got him. He's got him. He's got just a couple of extra Ks compared to Pac, and that was enough to make the difference. And he completely locks out P1 for 2 rounds in a row. He's now acting like the scarecrow that we've seen in the early rounds of this tech solo tournament at the Trackmania games, and he continues to do that in fine style with a 0.478 at the end of round number 2. We're heading into round 3. Can he keep those 0.4s coming? I guess we're going to be finding one element to that answer in just the space space of about 45 seconds or so, give or take, as we now enter sector number 2. All three are regrouped within a 10th of a second. Great attack from Barbos, going full inside before checkpoint number 5 to move up into 3rd place ahead of Pack, going into the right-hander before checkpoint number 6. And look at this, 18 milliseconds between 1st and 3rd. Barbos now falling by the wayside again. Azox versus Loso. Azox, the heartbroken man from round number 1, looking to seek a little bit of vengeance and get some gap back down, but he will actually go down on the track after a clip before the jump transition on the ramp. Loso inherits a lead that is somewhat slim by all accounts, but still makes it work. What will the stopwatch say? This time, it is another 0.40 with a 6 this time around. 3 for 3. Can he go for the clean sweep on Chiaroscuro?
Not only that, I want to see if he can get into the 0.3s right now with how he's been driving. Loso as well. 4 points away from finalist point. 4 points away from being the first driver with a cushion to be able to shoot for that gold medal. Unfortunately for Barbos, he's not going to be in the running this time. Loso out in front. Pac hits the wall as well. And we want Azox to be putting the pressure on Loso right now just to see how fast Loso can really go. No quarter can afford to be given. Azox, probably the biggest competition throughout this event for Loso, trying to do everything he can to just, start to bridge that gap, to start to make the comeback happen, because we know at this stage, Loso is going to be on finalist points, and yet even then through the middle, Loso is starting to pull away further and further ahead. Shoot for that WR time right now. Loso is absolutely flying through this. Tight against the apexes, tight against, the wall. Coming into this final turn, look how close he was. No touch. What time are we looking at here? Loso, it is a 0.396.
At long last, you were saying, I want to see him going to the 0.3s. We want to see him going to the 0.3s collectively. And the madman has done it. And with that, he will go to finalist status. And it's a good thing he actually goes to finalist status, because we're moving back to Surfside, one of the weaker maps, I'd say, from Loso compared to what we've seen, of course, in the first rotation, but he still has a chance to actually close it out. But it was a Barbo show through and through on the first rotation. I don't exactly know what to expect here.
Look, all I'm saying is everyone else is happy that we got off that map with the form that Loso was showing right there. If you're the other three drivers, you're like,
by everyone else, do you mean a certain nation? Because I feel like we have to be a bit more precise here.
Yeah, Germany is going to be very happy that we moved on right now. All right, then UK is going to be
sorry to put you on the spot, but that's how it is.
Yeah, no, I feel you. Where's France right now? Where's France in this finals? I don't know.
I mean, I
guess they already moved on. I guess they've already moved past. Hey,
yeah. You've seen me on the panel before. You already know how my sentiment about all this. Come on.
Yeah. It's a special kind of self-loathing that really comes across. Here we go, though. Surfside and Loso with the chance to take this geek. I want to see you call it.
All right, Loso on the first attempt of finalist status on the first round of the second rotation of Surfside, and we're going to be seeing everybody regroup within each other's ghosts pretty much at 67 milliseconds between first and fourth, as we see Azox currently emerging in the lead at the end of Sector 1, but look at the gap that Loso was able to bring back down. He's now within the ghost of Azox as we go into checkpoints number 8 and 9. It's still looking very, very good in terms of the outlook for Team Slovakia, but he still has a pretty sizable obstacle in the way in the form of Azox going on to checkpoint number 11, going uphill. The left-hander going so close to clipping a bit more speed, courtesy of Azox. Can Loso still hang on for dear life? Look at the speed he carried through, hits the wall going too early in, and gives Azox the 10-pointer on a silver plate. But even then, with a point, when you run a .092, there's going to be very, very few players that can compete with that.
Slovakia will have to hold the celebration one more round. It looked like that was it. It looked like he was on point, but they're going to have to run it back. In Germany, they're getting in each other's way a little bit, but this is an individual event. Barbos and Azox are still in the hunt, and if they can trade round wins, we can still get that three-way finals. It's just keep Loso down. We'll see if that happens, because Loso looking very fast out the gate in what could be their gold medal run. At that same token, it is Barbos right there with them. Azox is out, so it's kind of all up to Barbos and maybe Pac, if Pac can get in there. But Loso last time had the lead starting at the finish. They had to make a bit of a comeback, but they pushed a little bit too hard. This time, they've got a little bit more of a gap through maybe the safer part of the tracks. But now I expect to see everyone push. And if anyone's going to push here like they made it, leave it to the British driver. Pac, what have you got? Clips the inside. Pac is out. Barbos is a bit too far back. And for Slovakia, it's high time they get that gold medal. Volso crosses the line. P1, he has done it.
And a .082. I've seen your .0, and I'll raise ya. Loso coming through for Team Slovakia, who clinched their second gold medal in the Trackmania Games. But even though gold has been attributed, there are still 2 medals left to serve, and these are potentially going the way of Team Germany. The gap that Pac has to make up is a 29-point deficit, even just to make it to bronze. But maybe the opening is there with a clip and a full stop pick from Barbos, and the clip from Pac has completely thrown that chance in the bin, throwing Azox back into the lead of the race, and it will be a half a second advantage for the man who has been, for a brief moment in time, the leader of this grand final. Now, all he can hope to do is try to salvage, at the very least, very most a silver medal, at the very least a bronze here in this tech solo tournament for Team Germany. And it looks as though he will be on course to move on to 115 points as a result of that round. We'll be curious to see what the stopwatch says as far as Azox is concerned, and it will be a 54.2. We're finally starting to calm down. Maybe we're getting a little bit of a lull in pace, but after having turned up the heat all the way to high in the last 2 rounds, I think it's good for everyone involved, including us in our hearts.
Yeah, maybe, but at that same token, I'm seeing 2 German drivers right now playing for that silver medal, maybe also playing for a bit of pride, wanting to get there, wanting to kind of get that one too, and kind of prove to each other, all right, who is the stronger tech driver? Who is the strongest tech driver out of Germany? And, well, let's not count Pac out yet. I mean, Pac has slowly been finding that consistency again. We haven't been seeing the unforced errors that we've seen at the start, and there's still that, you know, silver or bronze medal perhaps up for grabs. We'll see if UK can get there, but you are right at this stage. I mean, look, we knew tech was going to be the Loso show, and in a lot of ways, second half of this final, it really was. Some of those times, absolutely insane on Chiaroscuro, and that was incredible to watch. But here we go. Final turns right now. Everybody actually incredibly tight. 34 thousandths of a second between the 3. Make that 33 thousandths of a second, but Barbos has a bit of a lead. Will hold on to it for the 10 points. That gets him the finalist point, and Azox, oh no, on 119. Oh, that's gonna sting.
This is gonna hurt. This is gonna hurt. We were kind of hoping that both brothers would make it both hand in hand together in final stages, but it just wasn't meant to be on this one, and we're going to be circling back to Magneton, which will very likely, I think, be our last map in this Tech Solo Grand Final here at the Trackmania Games. And a quick look at the updated stats on this, just taking into account the players that are left in there. We're still sitting on that .016 and .011 for Azox and Barbos in medium, .094 for Pac. And in terms of win rates, Azox is currently sitting at a 43% win rate across all the rounds that he has played on this map, compared to a 37 for Barbos. Granted, he's played 19 more rounds than Azox have, so maybe there's a little bit of a skew in some of the data there, but that gives us a bit of a ballpark of what to expect maybe in that second run.
I still feel like, yeah, the stats help maybe more for the lower rounds, but like with the finals, with the pressure, even with second place on the line, we'll see. It's a good indicator as any. Yeah, it is. I'm not meaning to dismiss them entirely. It's really good at seeing the potential, but I don't know. Like I'm not even going to sugarcoat it. I'm a huge stats person, so I'm trying to play devil's advocate for the sake of it, but no, I kind of agree entirely, man. I'm a baseball fan. That's just like watching a spreadsheet IRL. Here we go, though. It is Barbos looking for that P2. Azox wants to be there, wants that inside line, but Barbos will continue to hold it for now. Wanting to get the better of his brother, and why not? Think of the bragging rights. It will last a whole year. He'll be holding this win over Azox till Christmas next year and beyond. Every family dinner awkward. Every family gathering uncomfortable, and there is nothing Azox can do because Barbos has that lead. Bragging rights is yours, Barbos. Take home that silver medal.
0.954. I'm not quite given that we've seen, having seen how they interact with each other at XP Evo some years ago. I don't think all of what you said will hold up to scrutiny when you look at up close. At least I don't think so.
I would know. I'm an only child.
All right. Okay. First finalist status for Azox. After seeing his brother clinch silver for Team Germany, he has the chance to clinch bronze for Team Germany as well, but he currently has Spec standing in his way at the end of the first sector, but he makes quick work of the man from Team GB and will thus sprint away into the lead at the end of sector number 1, goes close to the wall on the exit of that long right-hander though before the transition back to flat road, and that allows Pac to get back within touching distance of this particular German player. Going on to sector number 3, over the bridge, it's still side by side, 4 milliseconds at the split between Pac and Azox at the moment. Going to checkpoint number 8, who gets the best setup for the double left. Setup roughly identical, a bit more inside maybe for Pac, who still holds the lead by the skin of his teeth. 7 milliseconds, the margin. Who gets the best setup? It's going to be Barbos, completely leaving Pac in the dust on the way to the risky finish. And with that, Germany will come away not empty-handed. A silver medal and a bronze medal going the way of Germany. Team GB, unfortunately for them, and according to your prediction, you were the one that actually had the fine eye on this one, do come away as last. But honestly, I think standing ovation required for Slovakia and Loso, because that was just a scintillating drive, including back-to-back 0.4s and even a 0.396 on the second rotation of Chiaroscuro. This is why I love Tech, man. It's such a great sight to see Tech get the spotlight and shine the brightest light as we've seen right here on this match. It's absolute chef's kiss.
It was like kind of a bittersweet thing that we only got 4 rounds on that second rotation on Chiaroscuro, because like on one hand, it's good to get more variety, see other drivers win rounds, but I wanted to see how fast Loso could go. I wanted to see if he could start pushing that world record pace, because it felt like he was just getting warmer and warmer, getting faster and faster. It was so close to there. And again, yes, the twins from Germany coming through, they have that finals buff that is just amazing. And UK apparently has the finals nerf when it comes to Tech. Maybe one year it will come back to them. But yeah, great event from top to finish, and not even in our finals too. I think the lower bracket finals, the top 8 drivers, even the top 12 drivers, all of them at some stage, it felt like, yeah, if they put on that run, they could be in contention to take a medal. Before I would say to win, I don't think I could say that after seeing Loso in that final. I think give it to him, well earned. But yeah, I well deserved nonetheless, and I'm hoping we have our panelists, because I want to rub it in their face that I said that Britain would fail in the final, and I want them to hear it from me directly. Britain will fail in the final.
There's one nervous laughter right there. That's the face of an unhappy man as well.
I have nothing against Pac, by the way. I thought Pac was amazing, but
yeah, I'm very happy because I got to watch some really good Trackmania, and that makes me happy. It doesn't make me bitter. That was an incredible grand finals, it does have to be said. I mean, Loso, Geek, you called it out, the performance on Chiaroscuro in particular was inhuman, frankly. 0.4, 0.4, 0.4, 0.3 to round it out is magnificent. It cannot be understated how impressive that performance was from Loso.
Round 1, second rotation, starting with a 0.40 of all 0.4s. You could have started with a high 0.4. No, 0.40.
No, 0.40 straight in with it.
Pac did get a 0.42, but it was the slower one.
He did get a 0.4. He got a slower 0.4, and also Loso got 3 of them, and also a 0.3. Insane performance from Loso in that one. I want to highlight very quickly before we go to a break and then come back for an interview with someone from Slovakia. Unfortunately, not someone named Loso from Slovakia. Germany are about to overtake Great Britain on the medals table. We have not actually got the update just yet, but that performance from the Germans in Tech Solo is going to be enough, Boney, for them to leapfrog Great Britain into first place at the Trackmania Games for the moment.
Yeah, the fights being brought, performance, Azox, Barbos, doing what they needed to do, right? Getting the work in. Yep. And it's all of a sudden all open, right? With the trial still pending, and we've got full speed and fast learn still to come. There's so much happening, and this is just the first of swings. This is just the first of swings, and we have tomorrow as well. Imagine so much Trackmania games.
There's so much, yeah. And I mean, Slovakia, I mean, that's going to jump them up the leaderboard a little bit as well. I think potentially, we'll wait and see. They might even manage to overtake France for the time being again. Fast learn is going to be very important later today. GB and France will be against each other in fast learn in a match today. One of them is getting eliminated immediately in fast learn when we kick things off with that later this afternoon. Super exciting. We are going to, I believe, go to a quick break, and we will be back with an interview. We're going to get Tween in from Slovakia to talk about how Slovakia are feeling about the Trackmania games and about that performance from Loso. So, see you very soon. Don't go anywhere. Don't change the channel. Don't go and watch other streamers. We get interviews here, and that's exciting. Welcome back to what is a panel without Max Formal. We had to say goodbye to him. We didn't give him a chance to explain himself. Frankly, G-Geek Boney, I don't know about you, I was getting a little bit sick of his gloating as well. So I was delighted.
That's a relief.
Tween, you should also be delighted. Welcome, by the way, to the interview, Tween. Lovely to have you here with us.
I'm incredibly delighted.
Formal did keep getting... He kept getting your country's name wrong. He did keep seeing the Slovakian flag and calling it Czechia instead. So, for your sake, it's also probably for the best that we've gotten rid of Formal.
Yeah. Well, start me off somewhere, guys. Like, I'm in so much emotion.
Yeah.
I need some directions here.
All right, Tweed. There you go. First question, great question. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling just like incredibly happy because like what we've managed to do as Team Slovakia, I mean, it's just like honestly incredible. Like with Rizzo and Loso especially taking home like gold medals, like actual gold medals in this competition. As Slovakia, I'm just like I literally have no words for what these guys put up. And also like the management behind the scenes, especially from Shorty, was like just so incredible, and I really have no words for that.
Yeah, it's been incredible to watch, and definitely don't hold me to this. I think, Tween, after that tech solo performance, and you're included in this as well, with how deep you made it in that lower bracket, I think there's a chance you guys are about to overtake France in the standings, at least for the moment.
That will be so insane. I mean, obviously it's partly because like how much like quote unquote overvalued like getting a gold medal is, and like with like the 1,000 points, right? But yeah, I mean, my teammates just put up like hero performances, like you know, like that's how the game is played.
Horrific news. I've lied to your face. It's already been updated. You're 600 points behind France. You're in 4th place. You did overtake Norway, though. You overtook Norway.
That's also like a huge
I apologize for lying.
That's all fine.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. Let's talk a little bit more. I mean, G-Geek, do you have any specific questions regarding Loso's performance there, about how it felt for the Slovakians watching?
Well, I have one question. I've already kind of touched on how we felt, me and Max in the booth. That second rotation of Chiaroscuro, I know I'm keep circling back, but it's just mind-boggling for me. 0.4 low, 0.4 high, 0.4 low, then a 0.3 high. I gotta wonder how much you have felt when you seen those times dropping like clockwork at the snap of a finger from your teammate. That must have been absolutely mind-boggling to watch. That's like, the only word I can say.
Honestly, that's just Loso things. I mean, we've practiced together a little. I know he's mostly practiced with the German guys, and I've seen some of his streams and some of his practice, and I mean, all of us that are like in the know of like how the practice is going, we have all already known that like Loso is really capable of just pulling this off. And I mean, I'm just so happy that it came at like the very best moment in the match. I mean, obviously it wasn't like on finalist, it was just what got him there and what made him like have some solid lead as a finalist. But yeah, at that point I was like so confident like he's gonna pull this off, and yeah, that's what he did in the end, like crazy.
Yeah, wild stuff, absolutely, from Loso. Crazy to watch from an outside perspective, knowing that is, you know, your teammate, your countryman doing it as well. As you said, I mean, not finalist. 40 points, though, in one map will get you a long way towards finalists, and it certainly helped Loso out in that grand finals. In the grand final, no less, exactly. Boney, any questions for Tween while we have him here?
I mean, more looking, I guess, towards the rest of the event. 2 medals in the pocket. We're getting towards the ends of it all. Is there anything that you personally, or maybe as a team, I should say, are looking forward to perhaps, you know, show off why you guys deserve to be maybe not even 4th, but even higher?
I mean, we're already like pushing our limits here, right? Like, I mean, obviously I could have played better, like, that's for sure. But on the other hand, like, I overperformed on pathfinding, I think, so I'm happy with that. But yeah, I mean, as far as my teammates go, like, there's only so much you can do, you know, like, win a couple gold medals,
Yeah.
like, yeah, I mean, as for Slovakia and like what there's left to improve is like, I have to improve, and that's about it, you know, like. I mean,
It's, as you said,
this was a crazy
incredible
event for
to
us.
have the 2 gold medals.
Yeah.
This all of it has been absolutely
just
wild.
hero performances like left and right, and I really have like no words to describe that. Like, I'm so happy with all that.
Yeah, I mean, look, Slovakia, one of 2 nations in the competition to have picked up 2 gold medals, with the other one being GB. France still don't have a gold medal. Sorry, G-Geek. I hate to have to bring it up while you're still here on panel as well. I mean, it's been
I'm over
incredible
it. I'm
so
over
far.
it at this point.
And Tween, there's still 3.5 hours. You could still go and get the trial gold medal as well. There's still time.
That's for sure. I mean.
I mean,
Okay,
Saucy
that's a good
does
one.
currently have the time down to, I believe, it's under. Yeah, Saucy is
It's
down to
9:30,
9.5
I
minutes
think.
on the trial map.
Yeah, and,
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
I
down to a
mean,
9:30.
Yeah, I mean, I finished that a couple of times. That means.
That means you can get sub 9 minutes, right? Like, there's still plenty of time.
Yeah, it's reachable, right?
Okay, Tween, I mean, overall, final question then for you before we sign off on the interview here. What has been your favorite part of the Trackmania game so far? Whether that's an individual event, has it been just hanging out more with the Slovakian Trackmania players and practicing stuff with them? What part of the whole experience have you been enjoying the most?
I mean, I think, like, as you said, it's both actually, but I think it like all came together, especially on the pathfinding event, where I mean, that was like the event for our team that I think like raised the stakes and like the emotions there, like the rivalry, you know, like in between the nations, and yeah, I mean, there's like a lot of like things going on, but behind the scenes, you know, with like who is allying with whom, and it was actually like so entertaining for us, like to be behind the scenes of it, and I mean, having some kind of knowledge there, and it was also like, I think the main event that put everyone together in the team. Like, you know, like you have those specialists in like ice, you have the specialists on full speed, you have the specialists on deck, but like here, everybody just like all hands on deck, and like everybody just trying to find something, and even if they can't like help with like routing or something, they can help with some trash talk, you know, like that also counts. So
it's a key part of any event, is making sure everyone knows that you're the best nation.
That was my favorite thing about like if I had to pick one.
Yeah, excellent. Tween, thanks so much. A final question then. Is there anyone else you want to shout out? Anything you want to say to everyone who's been watching the Trackmania games before we let you go?
I mean, for Team Slovakia, I have to say thank you very much for this event. I mean, it put the players in our country together, and yeah, I mean, a special shout out to Shorty Gray, I think, because like she was like behind the scenes for the team, and she managed so much, and yeah, I don't think we would have the result that we have without her. So big shout out.
Yeah, that's great. Tween, thank you so much for joining us for this interview. Thank you, everyone who is watching. We're not done yet. Tech Solo is over. We still have Full Speed and Fast Learn to follow this afternoon. Trial will be wrapping up in just about 3.5 hours at this point, too. So if you want to get one last run or 10 in, if you're if you are saucy, who I think still has time to get plenty of runs in at this point, still time to do that. That will wrap up later this evening. For now, though, we are going to head to a little bit longer of a break, but not a very long break. After that, we will be back with the Full Speed and the Fast Learn. Don't go anywhere, and we will see you for those events later.